in a village painted with the soft hues of morning, where the river sparkled like a diamond necklace and laughter echoed through the green fields, lived a young girl named Anaya. But while the world around her danced with joy, Anaya's heart was heavy, burdened by a storm of endless thoughts. Every step she took was weighed down by worries she couldn't name, her small face a canvas of quiet concern. She saw the children playing, heard the birds sing, but their melody couldn't reach the secluded corners of her mind. Her world felt gray, even under the brightest sun. One day, her troubled feet led her to the edge of the village, to a place of profound peace, where an ancient banyan tree stood sentinel by the river. Beneath its sprawling branches sat Amara, the village's wise elder. A gentle light seemed to emanate from her, a glow of tranquility that calmed the very air around her. Her eyes, filled with the wisdom of 1,000 sunsets, met Anaya's. With a heart full of hope and desperation, Anaya approached, her head bowed in respect. "Wise Amara," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "My mind is a tangled forest. My thoughts are a heavy cloak I cannot remove. Please, can you show me the way to find peace?" Amara listened, her expression kind and understanding. She didn't offer complex words or grand philosophies. Instead, she reached into a small cloth bag beside her and pulled out a simple, smooth stone, worn round by the river's patient caress. It fit perfectly in the palm of Anaya's hand. "Take this stone, little one," Amara said, her voice as gentle as the river's flow. "Walk with it along the river's path, all the way to the Whispering Falls and back. But there is one rule. You must not, for any reason, let it go. Hold it tightly until you return to me." Anaya nodded, confused but determined. Clutching the stone, she began her journey. At first, the task felt simple. The stone was light, a cool, pleasant weight in her hand. A smile touched her lips as she walked, listening to the symphony of the river and the cheerful chirping of birds. She felt a glimmer of hope, a sense of purpose in this strange task. The sun warmed her skin, the breeze whispered through the trees, and for a short while, the weight in her mind seemed to lift, replaced by the simple reality of the stone in her palm. She watched dragonflies dance over the water and felt, for the first time in a long time, a connection to the world around her. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, a subtle change began. The stone, once so light and insignificant, started to feel substantial. A dull ache began in her fingers, then spread to her wrist. Anaya tried shifting her grip, tossing the stone from one hand to the other, but the rule was clear. She could not drop it. The ache slowly crept up her arm, a persistent throb that demanded her attention. Her smile faded, replaced by a frown of concentration. The beauty of the riverside path began to blur as her focus narrowed to the growing discomfort. The chirping birds now sounded like a nuisance, the river's gentle murmur an irritating drone. By midday, the ache had turned into a sharp, biting pain. Her entire arm felt stiff and heavy, as if it were turning to lead. Her steps became slower, more deliberate. The initial lightness in her spirit had vanished completely, replaced by frustration and fatigue. Sweat beaded on her forehead, not from the heat of the sun, but from the sheer effort of holding on. The stone now felt like an enormous boulder, an impossible burden she was forced to carry. She looked at her hand, the fingers white, and strained, and couldn't understand how something so small could cause so much strain. Doubt crept in. What was the point of this? Why had Amara given her such a pointless, painful task? The journey back was a trial of endurance. Every step was a struggle. Her arm trembled uncontrollably, and tears of exhaustion welled in her eyes. The world had shrunk to the burning sensation in her limb and the oppressive weight of the stone. She thought of dropping it, of flinging it into the river and running back to Amara, but a sliver of her initial determination remained. She had made a promise, gritting her teeth. She pushed forward, her breath coming in ragged gasps, her focus singular. Reached the banyan tree, finally, as the sky began to bleed into the warm colors of sunset. She saw the silhouette of Amara waiting patiently. Anaya stumbled the last few steps, her body slumping with exhaustion. She held out her trembling hand, her face etched with pain and confusion. "Amara," she cried, her voice cracking. "I don't understand." At first, it was so light, but now it has become too heavy to bear. I almost couldn't carry it back. She could barely keep her fingers closed around the cold, hard object that had caused her so much agony. Amara looked at Anaya not with pity, but with a gentle, knowing smile. She reached out and softly took the stone, placing it on the ground beside her. "Dear child," she began, her voice a soothing balm on Anaya's frayed nerves. "Look at the stone. Did it grow? Did it change its shape or its substance on your journey?" Anaya looked down at this simple, unassuming pebble. It was the same as it had been that morning. "No," she whispered. "It's just a stone." Amara's smile widened. "Exactly. The stone's weight never changed. It only felt heavier because of how long you held on to it." A wave of understanding washed over Anaya. Her eyes widened as the simple truth of Amara's words resonated deep within her soul. The pain in her arm began to fade, replaced by a tingling sensation of release. The world, which had been a blur of pain, slowly came back into focus, painted in the glorious gold and crimson of the setting sun. Our worries, our fears, our heavy thoughts, Amara continued, her voice weaving into the twilight air, are just like this stone. If you hold one for a minute, it's manageable. If you hold it for an hour, your arm will ache. If you carry it all day, your arm will feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything else. The weight of the worry doesn't change, but the longer you hold it, the heavier and more burdensome it becomes. The pain doesn't come from the worry itself, but from our refusal to set it down. Anaya looked from the stone to the flowing river, its surface a perfect mirror for the magnificent sunset. A single tear rolled down her cheek, but it was not a tear of sadness. It was a tear of release, of profound and sudden freedom. The heavy cloak of worry she had carried for so long began to dissolve, melting away like mist in the morning sun. A genuine, radiant smile spread across her face, lighting her up from within. She felt light, truly weightless. For the first time, the world was no longer gray. It was bursting with vibrant life. In a final, symbolic gesture, Anaya reached down, picked up the stone one last time, and then gently purposefully, opened her hand and placed it on the soft earth beneath the banyan tree. As she let go, a flock of birds took flight from the branches above, soaring into the vast open sky. Anaya watched them go, her heart soaring with them. She had finally learned the secret. It wasn't about fighting the darkness or carrying the weight. It was about having the wisdom and the courage to simply let go. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey with Anaya. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that aims to inspire and uplift. We'd love to have you in our community. Until next time, remember to set your stones down.